I'm talking to Jennifer Hobson, who's the Deputy Cabinet Secretary. It means you're in charge of tourism, presumably.
Well, I try.
You try at New Mexico, and she said happy as a clam. I just love that expression.
I'm happy as a clam.
We're talking about New Mexico being a healing destination. So tell me, how does that work then, Jennifer?
Well, New Mexico has long been known as the land of enchantment, and it's known as a healing destination because of its deep history with Native Americans in the area. So spas, hot springs, artists, and the light of the place and the way it feels tend to draw a certain kind of person who wants to have a hands-on and authentic, enriching experience for their life, not just a holiday. So it's always drawn people like that, and now we have this new ecotourism program that really capitalizes on that product that already exists and puts it in a new context to make it more viable for travelers wanting to visit our state.
Now, you launched the ecotourism product last night, a week or so ago in fact, in the World Travel Market, and you're here talking about the ecotourism program. But you were saying also that one of your visions is to have people sleeping on tents in Native American reservations. Is that correct?
That's right. One of our intentions is to have a series of safari-style tented camps throughout the state where people can really experience what the land feels like. Because really what the program is, it's about what the landscape makes you feel like, how that feeling affects the way we create art, food, and culture, and language. And you can't do that unless you're really out in the landscape and waking up under that starscape and really seeing what it's like in the rural heart of New Mexico. So the tented camps, we hope to have the first one up by the end of next summer. And we do aim to do this with tribal liaisons. That is the goal and mission. And we hope that the tribes will see this as a way to sustain their culture as well as their economy. Because the whole issue and point really is not just promoting, but also preserving the natural beauty and cultural heritage of our state.
Now, you are also you're putting together an accreditation program for your operation. So you're at the first stages of that now.
Right. Well, we've just started talking about this program, and right now we're in the process of taking inventory of those existing partners in the state, the ones that do give back to conservancy issues and wildlife and that sort of thing. And then eventually what we aim to do is to have a series of suggested practices or qualifications that fit into our different partners, so hotels, spas, tour operators will all have to meet certain criteria in order to be part of the ecotourism program.
And you're hitting a lot of those sustainability buttons anyway. I mean, one of the wolves program you were telling me about was fascinating.
There are lots of groups in New Mexico that focus on the preservation of wildlife and wild places. For example, New Mexico Wilderness Alliance has been working on the rehabilitation of a wolf pack in the southern part of the state. Now, this is an animal that's native to New Mexico. It's called the red lobo. Lobo means wolf in Spanish. And the red lobo has been successfully reintroduced into the southern part of the state, much to our delight. And this is something that we would like to show visitors. And seeing wolves in their natural habitat will be part of the ecotourism program.
Well, it sounds a fantastic program. We were also talking about farm-to-table issues as far as the tourists are concerned. So, give me some examples of that.
Well, Santa Fe, for example, aside from being a world-class art destination, has been rated as having one of the country's top 10 farmers markets. And this farmers market has a great farm-to-table initiative. So all of the locally grown produce, including meat, chicken, pork, lamb, and beef products, all go directly into our local restaurants. So there's a real desire for biodynamic, organic, and putting that on the plates for our visitors and for our locals.
So your tourists can ski in Taos.
That's right.
They can have a vision quest in the mountains. They can eat good food and they can see some wonderful countryside. Now, also, you were talking about the going to see cultural things in reservations. Tell me a bit more about that.
One of the main examples I like to use is the artist Barbara Gonzalez, who's a member of the San Ildefonso Pueblo, and her great-great-grandmother developed some of the famous black-on-black pottery, which is something you could see today in the Smithsonian. And Barbara has a studio anyone can visit. So the ecotourism program really sort of will serve as a liaison between someone like Barbara, who may not be advertising, and the consumer who really wants to meet a local artist, to say, this is where the clay my family has gathered for generations, this is how I make my art, and this is why I do it. And that can be a very enriching experience. So that's an example of the cultural heritage tourism that we're.
So tell me, how would you characterize an ecotourism holiday to New Mexico?
I think it's something, it's a hands-on, authentic experience that is going to change somebody's life. They come and they're going to come away with a story to tell. And I think that is the most valuable thing travelers are looking for today.